Here we have Rajesh Ponnappa, All India Rank 222 with us, and he's part of a Gurukul program. He comes from Coorg, Kodagu, the heartland of coffee in India, and his background is also very diverse. He's done his engineering, but then he did his law. He's an advocate as well, and now finally he's got into civil services. So how does it feel? What I feel is like you've become an overnight success. So how does it feel?
First of all, thank you very much, sir. It's been a wonderful journey as part of the Gurukul program. So, as of now, it's still sinking in. It's kind of difficult for me to accept everything all of a sudden. So, I'm just trying to be myself the way I am normally. So, that's my way, I suppose, the strategy that I've adopted as of now.
Okay. So, did you believe that you would be getting that rank this year, this attempt?
So, honestly speaking, when I got the news that I cleared, I was actually studying modern history once again. So, I would be wrong if I said that I was very confident and I would clear. So, I thought that it is always good to be, hope for the best but prepare for the worst. So, that is something that I believed in. Hence, even though I hope for a good rank and to clear the exams, but I also started preparing for next time.
Okay, so how was your journey like throughout the mistakes, the lessons that you learned throughout the attempts that you've given?
Sir, I would say that the journey is definitely not easy. If anyone preparing for UPSC says that you can clear it in first attempt, it's very easy. Personally, my experience is that it requires a lot of dedication, it requires a lot of perseverance, but mostly it also requires a lot of hope. So, if one has the right guidance, the right support system and the right resources, plus the personal talent and the dedication towards what you wish to do, then there is a greater chance of clearing the exam. But still, there's a lot of uncertainties also.
Okay. So, you opted for Indian Foreign Service as your first service preference.
Yes, sir.
So, what made you choose Indian Foreign Service?
Sir, I would say that definitely it has been my passion to serve my country. But I consider the Indian Foreign Service to be unique because not only does it give one an opportunity to serve your country, but also to represent your country. And not only does it give one exposure towards administration, but also towards diplomacy. So I think that the Indian Foreign Service is really challenging. And this is, since it is challenging and also I'm more passionate towards it, I've given the Indian Foreign Service as my first choice.
So, Rajesh, since I know you in person, there were certain setbacks during the COVID times, and how were you able to overcome that hurdles and setbacks and maintain that motivation throughout your preparation?
Sir, I wouldn't say that it was easy. If I said it was easy, it would definitely be a lie. So I did lose a lot of time before my prelims examination, and the amount of time I had by the time I could get back, it was too short. But I consider myself lucky because I had the support system and the guidance available with me. So I actually credit my success. Of course, I do thank God. And I am very grateful to my family, because if not for my family support that it is okay, no matter what, you go ahead, we will support you, this would not have been possible. Apart from that, I definitely credit three individuals, sir. One is my brother, Dr. Arjun Bopana. Second is Gautam sir of IASbaba, and personally you, sir. It is the guidance that I've received from you three individuals at different stages, my Dr. Arjun Bopana or Gautam sir or yourself. This is something which actually helped me. I don't know to what extent, but I do know that it is something which was very helpful for me, because I still remember, sir, calling my cousin or talking to you before the examination on how to take it forward. So I believe it is the support system and the guidance which helped me throughout the entire journey.
Okay. So how was your experience at Gurukul? Because we had a separate study center here, a strong peer group. So how was your experience in Gurukul?
Sir, Gurukul actually helped me out because there was a dedicated peer or batch, I would say, who were all focused and who were actually selected through a rigorous process. And when everyone would sit in a place and they continuously study for hours, it actually motivates someone else who is not able to also to sit and study. So if I say 10 others sitting and studying continuously, and if I am not studying, I would feel guilty. So in a way, indirectly, it would motivate someone else to also study. The other best part of the Gurukul program was the test series which were made available to us. I still remember that I did not have enough time to solve the entire test series, but I did solve many, about 20 test papers of IASbaba, and I hope that actually helped me out through my prelims. And I still remember for the mains part, I had taken the TLP plus program mains test series, and I would sit with Gautam sir till about 10 or 10:30 p.m. at night and discuss, try to learn what was wrong and how do I improve it. I believe that all these processes which are part of Gurukul program were of great help for me in my preparation.
I've seen you throughout all the three stages, prelims, mains and interview, and every stage I've seen you little low on confidence, nervous. So how were you able to overcome that?
I feel that if, especially with respect to civil service, if someone is anxious, nervous or even low on confidence, I personally would feel that is actually good, because it would actually push the person to work harder rather than to be complacent. So if a person is overconfident, the person would believe that he's done everything right and there's no room for improvement. So personally, I wouldn't say that it's a negative thing. But what is more important is that when a person is anxious or nervous, if he can find a mentor who is able to guide the person or guide the candidate or the aspirant through the process, try to bring him back, or so that help the person to return to the table, that is more important, which I was lucky to have again as part of a Gurukul program, or my family, or my cousin. So they were very helpful. So, I remember that many times I've also come to you, and your motivating words really helped me to return to the table. So consistency is very important. So when a person loses his track, this mentoring aspect is very important to bring the person back to the right track.
Because I remember that especially prelims, I think 1 month or 1.5 months before prelims is where you started off sincerely for prelims.
Yes, sir.
So what did you do in that 1.5 months to make you click in prelims stage?
So since time was of essence and there was not much time for me to focus on everything, so I decided that I cannot do everything. I knew I couldn't do everything. I couldn't read every book. I couldn't cover the entire current affairs of 1 year. So I told myself that I am going to stick to bare minimum, whatever is necessary. I stuck to that and I just revised that. I did not do too much. So I kept it to basic minimum, and I tried to work on the same. I used to solve question papers. I used to work on the same. Rather than doing too many things, I kept it to a small quantity of content that I wanted to perfect.
So what was your strategy for mains?
So when it came to mains, it was all about practice. So I knew that before prelims also I found it difficult to cover the entire syllabus. So again, since time was of essence and I did not have much time to read everything, so I decided it was time for me to develop my writing skills. So I got mechanical with my writing. So what I used to do is that I used to sit and write 3 papers in a day. So I would sit and write 3 hours, take a gap, another 3 hours, take a gap, another 3 hours. So I would write 3 papers continuously the same day. So this actually helped me to get into a mode where even if I don't know the question, I'll be able to write something and I'll be able to complete the paper. And it was very helpful because this particular mains, especially the essay was really confusing, and the ethics paper was very long. So a person without practice would not have been able to complete it. So I would say that a person who is able to practice more, no matter what the obstacles, will be able to complete the paper, and completing the paper is very important.
So how were you balancing the GS papers along with the optional papers? If I have to ask you in terms of numbers, like was it 50-50 or 60-40?
So again, I did not have much time. I was not very good at, I had to improve my optionals a lot. So what I would do is that I would write, I had taken the TLP test series for example. I would if today is GS1, for example, I wouldn't read GS1. I would just come and I would just write the paper to the best of my ability. Then I would go back and I would read the solution. So I would not prepare. I had set my mind that even without knowing anything, I should be able to write the paper. I should be able to solve the entire paper and write 50 pages together, even if I don't know anything. So this is one thing that the strategy that I followed. I would write the paper, then I would read the solution. So this helped me to cover my current affairs also, since a test series covered it. When it came to optionals, I completely relied on Dr. Arjun Bopanna, his class notes and the guidance and the test series that Dr. Arjun Bopanna had provided. So he was available with me throughout my entire journey, because optional was important for me. I was not very sure if GS will be able to do it or not. So I wanted to perfect my anthropology score. So I focused more on reading anthropology based on his notes, and GS I completely relied on test series.
Okay. And coming to interview, what was your preparation? What was your strategy like?
So when it came to the interview, there was no strategy for me. I would just the mocks which were available, I would simply take the mocks. I would take their feedback, whatever feedback I could imbibe, I could improve, I would do that. Except that I did not do anything different or try to come up with any other strategy. I tried to just be myself, because what I have realized is that no matter what you think that you will do, no matter what strategy you build and you want to do during the interview, when you enter the room, everything flies out of the window. Your true self will come out. So the best thing is to be comfortable in your own skin. If you're comfortable in your own skin, I think that's the best way ahead.
Okay, we have had frequent one-to-one mocks as well. How was it helpful for you?
So the one-to-one mocks were helpful they would actually help me in thinking differently. So in the one-to-one mocks that we had at IASbaba, many different situational based questions were asked. So it actually helped me to think differently as to what could be the answer. So I'm pretty sure that if such questions are thrown at a person, all of a sudden, any person would stumble, no matter how intelligent or talented that person is, until and unless the person has the ability to understand on how to deal with such questions. So the step-by-step method which was taught to us in one-to-one interview on how to deal with different kind of questions actually set the ball for the actual interview.
Okay. If I have to ask you, what is that one thing that makes a topper? What would you say?
Personally, it would be, I would say again, sir, it's hope and the wishes of friends and the blessings of family members. I still feel it is wishes and blessings which plays a very important role.
Okay. And since prelims is down the corner, if you have any advice to tell them?
I would say that at this moment, don't sit and watch interviews, toppers interviews and all. I would just say don't get tensed. No matter what happens, it will happen. So just go ahead and give your best shot. That's the only thing that I can actually say, because to some extent, luck is also very important in this entire exam process. So be yourself, do your best, and hopefully with all the wishes and blessings you will get through.
So Rajesh, you have cleared this attempt, you have cleared this exam in the third attempt. So you as a person in the first attempt is obviously different from you as a person in the third attempt. So what do you think the Rajesh in first attempt was like, and what is Rajesh in his third attempt?
So I would say that when I gave my first attempt, to a great extent, I prepared everything by myself. When I said by myself, I meant that I did not interact with anyone. So I was not aware of the different strategies that were available. For example, when I gave my exam, the method that I had adopted for prelims was that I would only answer those questions of which I was 100% sure. So I still remember that that is something that I followed, and I had only marked about 50 or 60 questions if I remember correctly, and I missed it out by about, say, I think 2 marks or something. And now when I look back, I realize it was a bad strategy. So a person who actually clears the prelims obviously goes for about 80 or 90 questions, even though he only knows 50 or 60 questions correctly. Still, you have to attempt about 80 or 90 questions. So these kind of tips or tricks or strategy is available when you have someone to guide you or mentor you, or you come in contact with others who are also preparing. So I feel that when I came out to say Gurukul Program, or spoke to different mentors and teachers and faculty members, this is when I learned many things, and I had to correct my mistakes over a period of time.
Okay. And as you rightly said, right effort in the right direction is very important. So what was the role of Gurukul in that essence? Because what I see is, when I say a sincere student, each one of them spend that 6 to 8 hours of studies. They work every day in and out. But there's a difference between people who are working hard and people who are successful. So what do you think is that difference?
What I feel is that I see that many individuals who are preparing for this exam try to gather more knowledge. And of course, that is good, that is beneficial. But the problem is that there is a limitation as to how much a person's brain, a human brain, can actually remember. So, since again time was of essence for me, I did not do that. I only stuck to one particular material or one particular course, for example. I still know that, I still remember many people take up test series of different institutes, multiple institutes. I did not do that. I just stuck to IASbaba's Prelims test series over. I had taken 2 mains test series. I just stuck to it. I just had taken 1 anthropology test series. I stuck to it. And those solutions which were given to me, I would only read that. No matter if it is enough, if it is less, or if it is too much, I did not bother about it. Whatever was given, I would just take in that much, and I went ahead with that. So I still feel that keeping to the minimum is more important, because now it is a world where everything is available on the internet, and it's very easy to get carried away. So to keep it to the bare minimum, I feel that is the right strategy to go forward.
Okay. Thank you, Rajesh, for that wonderful interview of yours. I'm sure that your advice and your journey will be an inspiration to many people, especially people, most of them who take up this exam. Especially when the exam is nearing, people tend to get anxious, fear, a lot of distractions, and many external factors come into play here. And I'm sure this is going to help and benefit a lot of aspiring students. And thank you, Rajesh, once again, and wish you all the best in your endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you.